Hello, hello, hello. Oh, here we go. All right. As promised, a little just overview of what is going to be happening. Let me just get to this. All right. Sorry, I went to visit the Salzmund Puritans recently. I picked up a bit of a sniffle, but yeah, fear not. The apothecary told me that I'll be okay as long as I just stay away from Nurgling burgers. But yeah, a little bit annoying. Anyway, I'm just going to go through a few things here. I'm going to go through the rules right at the start here, just to make it clear to everyone who's playing in this tournament. And a bit of fluff. Then I just introduce everyone else to the teams after that. So, first off, anyway, the Marienberg Fisherprize Cup ZFL Conference Tournament Overview. So, the Marienberg Fisher Cup is a tradition among the houses of Marienberg. This time, House Fugger and the CL Lyaklan clan will host the tournament. The Lyaklan clan are the ones who are the tournament holders, the cup holders at the moment. Yeah, with the smell of fish guts in the air, the event is a spectacle to behold. Vendors from across the seas compete in the famous Pickling the Herring contest, looking to win a year's supply of pickled herring. So that's where the origins of this cup come from, basically. With strong ties to the seas, Blood Bowl teams arrive from all corners of the known world with House Fugger insurance. Can rest assured their play assets can arrive safely most of the time. Yeah, blah blah blah. So yeah, there's two academy teams in this tournament. The outline, yeah, so it's eight players, but just make it clear, the hosts, they will not be competing in the Wissen stage, the Swiss format stage. So just 6 teams competing. Anyway, everyone who's in it will know about that. Now, there's some recent news just in. Yeah, there was meant to be a supply of Recuperate coming in, but strangely, it kind of disappeared and no one knows where it's gone. So yeah, the shipment of Recuperate for the Marienberg Fisherprize Cup has not been received. There are murmurs of foul play by House Fugger, but they simply blame the inclement weather. There was a recent storm, so maybe that's all it is. As a stopgap, a last-minute deal has been struck with the Tempelhof Moonshiners, who are said to have secured an opening game spectacle against an as-yet unannounced team. Yeah, I can inform you that the team they will be up against, if they ever arrive on time, I say there's some inclement weather around at the moment. They will be playing against the Aberdeen Dons. So it's just like a one-off sort of opener match for a bit of fun. Introduce you to a couple of other teams which are, let's just say they're not particularly good. I'll tell you that much. Anyway, so the Moonshine, yeah, due to the last minute Moonshine detail. Anyway, Moonshine will be used to help players recover, and is in endless supply, so you can use it on as many plays as you wish. But be warned. Moonshine has special rules. Any play taking Moonshine will roll on the injury table. Any further injury suffered will be applied in the next game only. So a stun and knockout has no effect. You just play as normal. If you get missing next game, you just re-roll on the table again. And any serious injuries, so you get a serious injury will be applied just for the next game. Any characteristic busts will be applied just for the next game. And dead will mean dead. So there is a chance that trying to get your player to play when they shouldn't, they will actually die. Yeah, the scoring for this competition, it's 4 points for the victory, 1 point for a draw, 1 point for a touchdown, 1 point for the kill, and 0 points for the loss, obviously. So lots of points to go around. Now to the more complex bit. It looks worse than it is. I try to highlight what's important here. So coaches must inform me before each match the control intent. Now, I should make this clear. This does not make any difference for the host teams who are only playing in the semi-final, and it does not make any difference whatsoever for the Albion All-Stars either, because they have 0 rerolls for the match unless they make the final, then they get 1. So it's only for all the other teams. And yeah, who's coaching the Albion All-Stars, I have told them. So the control intent, basically, this means you have to decide, will you focus on possession, retain the ball for more full turns an opponent, that means in turn 1 you have the ball in hand for at the start of that turn and at the end of that turn. Or territory, keep the ball in the opponent's half for more full turns than your own. Again, this might lead to a little bit of stalling, but that's the way it is. Depends what you want to pick. So success gives the teams +2 momentum. If +1 if both teams choose the same control intent. So if both teams decide to go for possession, and then one of them gets more, then they get +3 momentum. And let me just go down here to the momentum, see how it works. Everyone starts on 5, so basically by your second game, you should have 2 rerolls, really. Possibly even 3, because it goes up quite quickly to start with. And the other way you get team momentum, again, you get +2 if you win, +1 for a draw, and 0 for a loss, obviously. Now, there's 3 other things you can do. Well, you have to do as well. You must choose. I should just highlight that later. Yeah, you must choose 3 of these as well. So it's athletic, vicious intent, bashing, greased up, smashing, lethality, eagle eye, defense, running game, move the ball. You have to choose 3 of these. So basically a complete more, go for it, more fouls, etc., etc., etc. So all game plans are worth +1 team momentum and can only be claimed once. Additionally, if a game plan is not successful, then the coach must try to complete it in the next game. Whereas completed game plans are replaced with remaining ones, which you do pick from. So, for example, in the first game, like maybe you think, oh yeah, I can smash this team around a bit, so I'm going to go for lethality, smashing, and bashing. And then you only get 1 of these. In the next game, you're up against a team which is going to smash and bash you, so you don't think you can get these. Hard luck, you're stuck with them, but you can choose 1 more if you completed 1. And yeah, so there should be enough to go throughout the entire tournament there. So it just helps you improve your team momentum and get more rerolls. And this is meant to represent basically as you go from round to round, your team gets more cohesive, they get better at playing together, like in a normal cup run. You know, you get that steamroll snowball effect. This is what this is meant to represent. Anyway, that's that. Now there's something a little bit more complicated too, and this will not count, obviously, for academy teams. This won't, yeah, this will count, this won't really, yeah, it will count for every other team except the academy teams. And this is just like a way to develop the teams from tournament to tournament, because these teams hopefully will appear in other tournaments in the future, make the odd appearance, so the star play points will roll over into those. And what I'm doing here is a little bit different. So there will be no MVP. I will award the MVPs. That's that. Yeah, I will decide who's what. And because this might be a little bit difficult for me, I would like it if teams could pick a player on the opposition side who is being a pain in the ass for you. So that would just make my life a little bit easier, because I might not get a chance to watch all the games. And also with this, with these game plans, I will check these myself, but if you could do it yourselves, that would be a great help. And the same with the control intent. But you know, I've set this up, so I will look myself anyway, if you don't have the time. But if you can, save me a bit of time, that'd be wonderful. Anyway, the star play point. So it's a little bit different as well. So encouraging passing game, killing game, violent game, touchdown game, basically. So pass completion, short, quick, 1 point, long, 2 points, long bomb, 3 points. Casualties, 2 points, same as usual. Kills, 3 points. Touchdowns, 4 points. And the MVP as well is going to be on both sides. So if you're the winner, you get 5. If you're the loser, you only get 4. Or a draw, you just get 4. So yeah, winning, you get an extra MVP there. Players causing a death, a casualty, and scoring a touchdown get +1. And also, we've got the crowd pleaser, the surf opponent, for +1 star play point as well. And again, if you can help me with this a little bit, I would appreciate it. But if you don't, then, you know, my problem. I'll sort it out. And obviously, if you get this in inducements as well, like in Nuffle's Prayers, then it's just going to be an extra boost to this. Yeah, do not level up players. So this is going to be a little bit different. the way I've written this, it sounds really complicated, but yeah, the leveling from 2 to 7. So first, to get to the first level, you need 6 star player points. Then to get to the second level after that, you need an additional 12, an additional 20, etc., etc. So it's not exactly the same as what it is in the game. And so you can also take a bit of a gamble. You can spend them. You're spending these points. So if you've got, so to level up to level 2, you need 6. If you get 6, you automatically do it. It happens automatically. If you've only got 5, you basically roll a d6. On a 1, you will fail. You will lose all those points, and nothing will happen. Whereas, let's say you got 3 star play points, you can take the gamble and say it's a 50-50. And the same once you get to the next level. Like, if you got 2 points, you got a 1 in 6 chance, basically, because it's 2 out of 12. You can gamble those. But once they're spent, they're gone. You can't then try again. So, yeah, it's a little bit different. And additionally, once levels, the skills and character boosts will be randomized. So it's going to be between 3 and 6 possible outcomes. I've kind of set up a thing on AI to sort of randomize this a little bit for different teams. Yeah, and in the previous game where you're choosing to level up, yeah, for every touchdown or kill your team has made, you may eliminate one of the options. And you can spend an additional 2 star play points to further reduce the random options to a minimum of 2. So let me just explain this. Just look here. This is an example. Ignore these in the sheets anyway. So say you're leveling up here. There's like Mighty Blow, Strip Ball, Multiple Block, and Shadowing. These are the random options available. So if you won the game, you can automatically just get rid of one of these. So I definitely don't want Multi-Block. I get rid of that. So you're going to get one of the other 3. Then if you want to spend an additional 2 star play points, then you can get rid of another one. So down to a minimum of 2, then it will be randomized between Strip Ball and Shadowing. Then again, you probably want Mighty Blow. Also, as an extra little thing, what you can do as well. So if you've got, where's an example? I can't see one. There should be one here somewhere. Pass block. I think oh, this is a different one. So basically, if you've got block at level 3 and you take block here, and then you go up to here and it's block again. If you take block, you can then remove it if you don't want it. So you can get rid of unwanted skills later down the road by rolling them again randomly, and it will just delete that skill. Then you can pick any skill you want, but you'd also go back a level. So it's kind of I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what I'm going with. Anyway, now let's have a look at the teams. Then I come back and give you the fluff for the teams. Let me just see here. Let's get rid of that. And here we are. So, introducing the teams. First off, let's start from the bottom. We've got the Myrmidon. Actually, let's go through the 2 academy teams. Let's start with the horrible unpronounceables. Yeah, so Bilbali Desperados Academy team. Let's see if I can pronounce these things. Excuse me. All right. Nice, easy name to start off with. We got Eulogio Arabio Urrutia. Stand firm, wrestle, and defensive. So a bodyguard with the defensive. Nice, nice. Interesting one there. And then we've got Anzon Zengo Titagoitia. Something like that. Afranio Megare, the Noble Blitzer with Mighty Blow. Interesting player. Luzipo Eriondo, lineman with sure hands. Garikoitz Laskos, just defend. And Ogre, Onton Ursilaruti. Sanzo Maduri, with jump up. Harpocrates Urigoiti with pile driver. Wonderful skill, of course. Dardano Loriga with strip ball. So it should be a defensive play there. Canton Erezola with stand firm. Oh, so just a bodyguard and with sure hands. And Aderan Vedate with block. So pretty handy lineman there. And Casimiro Abrisqueta with a butchered name. With pass. Very, very interesting. So the blitzer has got the pass skill. Oh yeah, and all teams, of course, get one reroll to start with. One apothecary for everyone. The exception to that will be the semi-final teams, the host teams. They've got more. Same with the fans. The fans will probably build up through the tournament. Let's look at the Quintex City Assassins. The academy team, of course. And it's someone who's keen to get the assassins back. So, first off, we've got Anatoly Ernchester, the witch elf, with sprint. Marcus Macabre with brawler. Molochai Basara with diving catch blitzer. Interesting one. And we got Angelino Mascula roll injury. Funny nickname. With jump up. Luciano Toscano blitzer with frenzy. He looks a bit miffed. Bad childhood, I expect, with frenzy. Maximo Herdlocker, standard lineman. Lamina Strafe, another defensive here. Amazing skills. And we got Belnenia Drafelas, sprint lineman. Quite a fast-looking team, actually, this one. Hextarian Lurch. Shadowing. Oh, it's an assassin again. With sure feet assassin. We've got a jump up assassin, a sure feet assassin. So they should be getting around, doing a bit of stabby. Sother Ermalo. A rookie, proper rookie player. Verikath Ravenge with diving catch. So, of course, academy teams with just 11 players. I do believe they get replaced. But I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, now, we'll start with this team might look incredibly overpowered. And they are very good. It's based on ruggers. You may see a competition in the future involving ruggers. We shall see. Anyway, so anyone's familiar with rugby at all, like the best rugby player of all time, you probably know, Jonah Lomu. This is a take on that. And if he was playing Blood Bowl, he would be bloody good at it. I can tell you that. Anyway, it's Jonah Lomanu. And the thing about this team, it looks quite overpowered in a way, but they've only got 13 players. They're not going to be replaced by anyone decent. They've got no rerolls. And they cannot get extra rerolls. If they get to the final, they get one reroll. That's it. Now, these are like the prop players. We've got Jonah Lomanu. He's got all of these four, as you can see. Block, stand firm. That's the standard for this position. Juggernaut, break tackle, pro. So he's got a reroll, kind of. Up strength, up agility. Really hard. Sebastian Chabot. Taken from a French player, if you know that. Yeah, up strength as well. And with tackle. Chok Bok Bok Burgers. Grab and fend, as well as the standard. And then Gregan Kanga with the block stand firm. Now, Wally Composte. A catcher. And catcher's got unique skills here as well. Got a catch, dodge, sprint, diving tackle, sure hands. And Sir Revi Sevens Fiji. If anyone knows Sevens. Up strength, catcher, sprint, sure feet, sidestep. Gonna be a real handful. A real handful. Drizzle Droskell. Yeah, throw, show hands, strip ball, and dump off. Bango Surger, pass, show hands, strip ball, nerves of steel, and on the ball. Johnny Skulkingson, maybe you recognize that name, anyone who's English, with kick. Willie McBoom, Pon Styles, Monty Pagomi, and Patrick Fitsiwi. Now, there's something extra about this team that you're going to find out about later. They cannot pass the ball forwards. They can only pass it sideways or backwards. This includes handoffs because they are ruggers players. They're rugby players, basically, from Albion. Anyway, that's an interesting team. I'm really surprised more people didn't go for that. Now, Gauberg wedges. Got Ronald the Cheeseboard. With Mighty Below Pile Driver. They have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They've got 6 positionals here because I was told by Zord that people wouldn't pick this team because they were just so bad. So I put Johan Crafty as a blitzer. Anyway, we got Frank Diehard. Nothing special about him. Rude Mullet. Block, tackle, faster. Edgar Vivads. Grab and pro. Gouda the Ogre with grab. Percy Van Udeguber with block and mighty blow. Filbert Greater. Cuthbert Cake Stand. Both movement down, armor down. Very vulnerable players. Edwin de Graaf with kick. Vincent Polyp and Urjad Tulips Twentard. Just the same as normal. And Harden Agadas with sure hands. And finally, of course, their star player, Johan Crafty, with block, catch, dodge, sidestep, pro, and up agility. So they've got some scattered in amongst them. They've got some talented players, but generally, yeah. And this plays when they can be replaced easily in the rule set, which I'll go over later. Anyway, next team. I'll go into the fluff and background story in a while. Just easier to introduce the plays this way. It's got Kladaki Screen Turn with Shadowing. Wapper Hulder with Sure Hands and Catch. So interesting player here. Floopsy Ellison with Jump Up. Oh, I think they have that standard, don't they? That's normal. Yeah. Magnus Flinty, Strip Ball. Frigga Sleetstrom with Strip Ball as well. I think they get that normal. What am I talking about? Hebrine Skybone with Kick and Leap. Good on his feet, this guy. Ston Stonison. Johan Flaltrathi with the tackle and the pro and the amazing helmet. Gelson Gulkin. Janne Jabrini. Svenis Toenail Brigson with kick. Lothar Matlocken with a dirty player. And Ulrich Volkonin. What's this? Old World Classic. All right, yeah. And finally, to round out the competition, we have the Myrmidon Kraken Clawless. Myrmidon is just near the Badlands, in case you didn't know. Your Warhammer lore. And we've got Cisco Hot Plates with Safe Pair of Hands. Zizu Klaxon with Tentacles and Block. Maximus Ip, Tentacles Block. Zaman Zakan, Tentacles Block. Phallus Malus, Tentacles Block. Papa Nergodopoulos with Foul Appearance. Agilis Gallus, Janus Dudvia. Taziki Cucumber with Pro. Helios. Killian Mimosa with Block. Wilhelm Cascade. Yanni de Burke. And Manfran's Man, who is a human, I promise you, with Diving Catch, Defensive, and Sure Feet. And finally, Calamari for a bit of muscle. And those are the teams there. Hopefully it's going to be a fun one. I am going to just go ahead and kick this off now. Oh, and then I'm going to go through the whole team list. Where do I do this? Is it here? Okay. I don't know about this. I'm going to find out about that before I mess anything up. Anyway, so I'm going to kick it off fairly soon. Let's get back to what I was looking at a moment ago. So, here we go. Now, let's just go through some of the fluff. Why the hell not? So, these are the teams which you can't see yet. The Analak Leviathans. So, the champions. Oh my god. It's the last time I'm going to see the Puritans and tell you. My god, I should have got sleep through our Groofers to do this. Anyway, so the champions. The current holders of the Fisherprize Cup have beat their longtime CL rivals, the Talain Deloth Navigators, with a crushing score of 5-1, which consisted of 2 Hail Mary passes from the team's captain, Julel Mao. They're arrogant veterans with a reputation for brutality and underhandedness. Some say the Leviathans are close akin to Dark Elves, which simply makes their blood boil even more than usual. The violence this team can dish out should not be underestimated, especially post-game. So, special rule. So, you're only up against these in a final. So, if this team is beaten, then an attempt is made to injure one of their opponents who scored post-match. If successful, then missing next game with no potential of recovery for final. So, basically, there's going to be one injury roll on if they get beat and they don't go to the final themselves, they're going to try and scupper the chances whoever beat them. Vicious people, vicious people. Yeah, and you see the pretty decent team. They've got 6 dedicated fans, they've got a bribe, and I can't remember how many rerolls they've got. Anyway, I've told whoever's playing them. Next, the other host team, the Fugger Wreck Sharks. So, House Fugger of Marienberg, according to law, yes, have always been strong trading ties with the Dwarven holds near Marienberg. Once they set up an insurance company protecting its clients' precious cargo, things eventually started to turn sour after the initial profitability of the enterprise. Ever since, House Fugger has been on the brink of complete bankruptcy. That is until one particularly cunning dwarf, Bimbar Hatchikrank, developed a new branch of Fugger House operations, the Fugger Wreck Salvagers. So, the Wreck Sharks, back from the abyss of financial ruin, or rather into the abyss to reclaim a modicum of profit, the idea to salvage the wrecks of insurance claims also resulted in the removal of any claims made. With a crack crew suited up, the salvagers soon became known as the Wreck Sharks, pouncing on any wreck they could find to fill the coffers of House Fugger. It was around this time that Bimbar came up with an idea of entering the sturdy crew into the Marienberg Fisherprize Cup. Now, twice semi-finalists, they are looking to secure a bigger cut of the prize money. Whether the Sharks will look to venture into permanent Blood Bowl play and become professional outfit will largely be dictated by their success in terms of gold coins alone. The Myrmidon connection. A number of vicious rumours and conspiracies follow House Fugger around today. Some say they are in league with the Dark Gods and worship sea beasts. Others, at least, see a suspicious connection with the certain Myrmidon Blood Bowl team and the promise of safe passage insurance for teams competing in the Marienberg Fisherprize Cup. It is rather interesting to discover that teams travelling by sea to the competition who do not pay for Fugger insurance are never seen again after leaving harbour. Take what you want from that. And the salvage engineers. Yeah, blessed with specialist engineers, the Fugger Wreck Sharks put into play their infamous Nautilus on the Blood Bowl field. This is a hulking device. This hulking device crushes opponents with ease and is somewhat comparable to a death roller. Although it is not as powerful or fast as a death roller, the multiple salvage arms and claws allow for the device to make multiple blocks. So, special rule, go into every match in this tournament with ×2 bribes. And yeah, that means it's a death roller, but -1 movement, -1 strength, but multiple block. Now, the next team. Riptide Ransackers. The coach, Elaf Earmuff. So a vendetta here. Elaf Earmuff was once the star player of the 4-time champions of the Fisherprize Cup, the Talaindelof Navigators. That was until disaster struck only a few years ago. Looking to hold the crown, Elaf set out to Ulfuan to scout for new talent and failed to pay for Fuga insurance. Needless to say, Elaf never returned. Until now. Norska Flotsam. The story goes that Elaf was washed up somewhere in Norska and taken in by a group of curious warriors. Here she is said to have taught them all about the ways of Blood Bowl world, and he took to it like, well, a fish to water. A Norskan to water. Yeah, adapting their familiar raiding tactics, Elaf Earmuff quickly had a squad that was swift, sharp, and brutal. Ransacking. With an eye to rush in and ransack the ball, this Norskan team has been making ripples around the shores of Nordland. No one sees them coming. They burst through defences and smash the ball from the opponent's hands. Just as quickly, they retreat before forming a tidal wave of an assault towards the end zone. Yeah, special rule. Yeah, the team has a special way of setting up, which I've set up for the coach. They know about this. And there's 1 star play point for a sack for this team as well. Also, yeah, first and foremost, Elaf Earmuff is looking to reclaim the crown and then wants to set about aiming for the elite division of the ZFL. She sees the way ahead as ripe for the Riptide Ransackers. Her talent in training up recruits is considered second to none. What is more, she is on the lookout for promising coaches to continue her legacy, as she also needs time to seek revenge on a certain residents of Marienberg. So the special rule here. An extra plus 2 star player points can be allocated to 1 player in a somewhat random fashion due to Earmuff's amazing training talent. Select 3 players to whom you wish to allocate the star play points, and maybe it will go to one of them. Yeah, so it's a bit of randomness involved in that. Albion All-Stars. So, Ruggers. In Albion, a sacred sport... Goddamn Nurgle. In Albion, a sacred sport known as Ruggers is said to predate Blood Bowl. Some say Nuffle's prophet lived long ago in the mist-shrouded lands of Albion. Others insist that Ruffle is Nuffle's twin and that Nuffle stole her glory. Either way, Blood Bowl has been a fringe sport in Albion for a long time, playing second fiddle to Ruggers for generations. The game is quite bizarre. For one thing, they play with a spherical ball and only throw the ball backwards. Some time ago, one of the Ruggers teams, Wickham Wanderers, decided to showcase Ruggers in the Old World. Adapting their game, they quickly became a formidable Blood Bowl team, crushing many semi-pro teams with their Rugger-like Blood Bowl style of play. Now, many of the inhabitants of Albion have come to adore what Blood Bowl has to offer. So, their positionals. Ruggers team has very particular positions with set skill paths. Again, not going into this. During this tournament, it should be apparent what these are. All fresh Rugger teams start with some trained Ruggers players. The Ruggers game involves a lot of players rolling around in the mud. Hence, lots of wrestle. Out on the coach, yeah, Ferry Terribles. If anyone's from England, you might recognise that. If you got a bit old enough to recognise the name. Anyway, Terribles, a wily old boat captain, has had a long and prosperous relationship with the Fuga household. Once shipwrecked on Albion, he managed to fit in with the locals quite easily and took to the game of Ruggers. He was an assistant coach for the first All War tour made by the Wickham Wanderers, but fell out with the then head coach Grubby McMoody regarding the use of poisonous toad licking. McMoody was actually offered the job of coaching the Albion All-Stars, but said his loyalty remained with his current post at World Toad Lickers. Acting as a kind of ambassador for Ruggers ever since, this is his big chance to show off his combined knowledge of Blood Bowl and Ruggers, much like he once did with the early tours made by the Wickham Wanderers. Anyway, short-term aims of this team. Yeah, with a new blend of skills, more and more pro rugger players and teams are slowly beginning to transition to Blood Bowl. The aim of entering the Marienberg Cup is seen by the TRA, the Truth-Sayers Ruggers Association, as testing the waters for hosting a future ZFL conference tournament themselves and showcasing the talent on offer from various rugger teams. Our special rules. Yeah, made up of players from numerous rival teams, so the team momentum, yes, non-existent, as I mentioned previously. They're used to playing against each other, not on the same team. However, if you make it to the finals, you get one reroll. So no rerolls otherwise. Throw it backwards. Albion rugger players are forbidden from ever passing the ball forwards, only backwards. Or sideways, of course. If this rule is broken, the TRA will fine a team 100,000 gold coins. It has been known, such as in the case of the Woollyback Hill Rovers, for entire teams to be sacrificed if payment is not duly paid. So yeah, special rules. Or even though they've got this disadvantage, there is a slight advantage to it too. There's a bonus, I should say. So players who make successful passes when based, only when based, gain an additional +1. So 2 for the pass, and the receiver gains +1 too for the star player points. So that's them. Nearly at the end here. The Myrmidon Kraken Callers. I think you might have seen on the Discord or the Discord, the coach who has been hired. So Manfran's man is taking a bit of a back seat. Anyway, Cultists of the Sea, the team history. One day, a local fisherman of Myrmidon came across a victim of a previous night's storm, washed up in a secluded cove. The man had funny ears, but swore he was a human, going by the name Manfran's man, the most human name he could think of. Man quickly found some like-minded sea worshippers in a Blood Bowl team, the Myrmidon Tridents, who took his name to be that of Manan. Deeming him a prophet, the Myrmidon Kraken Callers were quickly formed. Over time, the team grew in strength thanks to some blessings from mysterious sea beasts. The need for sacrifices. The dedicated supporters of the Kraken Callers do not last long if they fail their initiation. The ones that really have what it takes are quick to find new offerings for the mysterious beasts of the seas, just in case Manfran's asks for volunteers. Manfran's is tired of the distraction of playing Blood Bowl himself and wants to spend more acquiring groupies for his special parties by the seaside. Man's goal: win a competition so he can retire from playing. First, he needs to make sure his team is capable and has a legacy of players ready to continue to forge new paths and seek out fresh waters. At some point, the plan is to fake his own death and then continue as club owner, seeking revenge from the warmth of his seashore hideout. Special rule: every time a death occurs in gameplay, a blessing is bestowed on one player of the coach's choice. Tentacles mutation at no star play points cost. If a player is maximum level, then replace one random skill with tentacles. So this, just to be clear with this, the death can occur on any side of the team. It doesn't matter. And that's that. And finally, Gauberg Wedges. Bit of a comical team. High Society. The Toffs of Marienberg. The Gauberg Wine and Cheese Club are decadent and free-living people. With more money than sense, every season they enter the Fisherprize Cup and returning coffins, or sporting scars to boast about to their fellow upper-class twits. The current Chief Cheese Inspector is Lady Harus Cheeseman. Cheeseman is not exactly a tactical genius. She is, nevertheless, an astute businesswoman and able to keep her pile of gold coin growing. How she manages to keep acquiring wealth is something of a mystery. So it might be something further in the future there about that. Unskilled and unstable. Because the team mostly consists of buffoons who know little about fighting, they rely almost entirely on an alcohol-fueled stupor to get them through the game. And cheese, of course. Because of this, they are unable to make use of Bloodweiser kegs. Besides, such slosh is hardly a Bretonian chadoop. So yet no kegs allowed for these. The Old Soldier. Oh, sorry. The Odd Soldier. Even though the club mostly consists of a bunch of hapless fools, there are some actual trained soldiers amongst them. Also, the club's mascot Gouda The dim-witted ogre is often on duty to protect his masters for a slice from the cheese board. So, special rules. The willing dandies and fops of the Gauberg Cheese Club, as the team is likely prone to suffering from excessive casualties, any players MNG can automatically be replaced for the next game. Or you can take some moonshine to see what happens for fun. The roster may never go above 13 players in this competition. They might even be better than what you started with originally, or maybe worse. So yeah, take your chances there if you want to replace a player. And if you don't get up to the full squad of 13, I will just filter some in anyway, some random people. Yeah, so no kegs allowed, only preferred wine, cheese, and that lies is swell. Actually, it doesn't make sense for them to have moonshine because they wouldn't drink that kind of stuff either. So no moonshine. I should say that. No moonshine either. Made that clear because they can just find replacements anyway. And that's it. That is that. I'm going to start up the competition now. I just want to check out what that automatically advance to next round means so I don't screw anything up. And yeah, that's it. So have fun. And I would appreciate if you do help out with the, grabbing the stats and stuff. I'll do my best to do it myself. And any questions, just DM me. And I'll get to hosting the games when I see them. Hopefully going to get that that opening promotional game played reasonably soon. It should be a bit of fun. And yeah, that's it. Bye-bye. Have fun.